For this vocabulary lesson, we are going to start in the Do Now section of your notebook. Together, we're going to watch a clip from the movie Stepmom. As we are watching this, I want you to be thinking about how the characters are feeling. When we are done watching, you are going to use at least 3 words from this list to describe the character's feelings. You will use a minimum of 1 word per sentence. So again, you're going to write 3 sentences using at least 3 of the words on this list. Here is the clip from Stepmom.
Are you all right? I thought it was all the time. Hold his hand and let him out of your sight. Jackie, I'm so sorry. I'm going to say this one time so you be careful. A woman is to have nothing more to do with my children.
Our children.
Do you realize what could have happened to your son? How lucky we are that the police found him instead of some lunatic. They could.
Jack, you don't have to make it worse. It's about the sarge. It's terrible. What could have happened to Eddie?
Not to me.
You've made mistakes. People make mistakes.
Well, I am not going to sit here and wait for the next one. I'm not going to watch our children fall through the cracks of this arranged.
Just calm down.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm
Calm
going to
down.
a lawyer.
Don't do that. I promise you never do that.
Well, we've broken a lot of promises, haven't we? Don't take this out on him. It's
Well,
my
it's better
fault.
to just-
Honey, I'm so sorry. But you're not making this any easier on anybody. It is not my job to make it easier for you. It is my job to take care of those children, and they don't want to be with you. I'm getting a court order, and you are never going to be with these children again alone. Do you understand? Ever.
Mommy, it's not Isabella's fault that I ran away.
No, you're right. That was your fault. And it's her fault for not taking care of my precious son as if it was her priority, which means her most important job.
Isabella's job is she works.
And Mommy's work too. They work very hard. In fact, I work harder as a mommy than I ever did when I had an outside job. I just don't get paid.
Does Isabel make a lot of money?
No, people like Isabel who think only about themselves often do make a great deal of money.
I think she's pretty.
Yeah. She likes big teeth.
Mommy,
What's it?
if you want me to hate her, I will.
So what I now would like for you to do is, using the words on this list, write at least 3 sentences using at least 3 of the words to describe the character's feelings from this clip. Restart the video once you've done this. Our prefixes for today in this lesson are Bene Mal Male. What I'd like for you to do is to please add this to the table of contents in the vocabulary section of your 5-subject notebook. Then turn to the next blank page, add Bene Mal Male as your heading, and then tape in your graphic organizer. Once you have done this, please restart your video. All right, so what do these prefixes actually mean? Let's go ahead and take a look at some words that you may be familiar with. His benevolent attitude was one of the reasons that he had so many friends. As the chef served the meal, he exclaimed, "Bon appetit." Based on the first sentence, here we see that his attitude allows him to have so many friends. Well, typically if somebody has a lot of friends, usually they have a positive attitude. When we hear the chef saying "Bon appetit," usually we know that's in reference to enjoying a meal or having a good meal. So if one is benevolent, it means that they are expressing goodwill or kind feelings towards someone. And if somebody says "Bon appetit," they are wishing someone else a hearty appetite. What I'd like for you to do right now is to add the word benevolent to your graphic organizer with the definition as well. Once you've done that, please restart your video. One of the other prefixes is mal or male. So let's look at that prefix. In some countries, food supply is so limited that the people are malnourished. Well, if I know that a food supply is limited, people probably aren't getting the nourishment or the nutrients that they need. So based on that, I can make the assumption that mal maybe means less or bad. So if one is malnourished, they are provided with insignificant nourishment or having less nourishment than they should. So what I'd like for you to do right now, know that you have maybe an idea of what Bene Mal Male mean. Can you think of other words that use these prefixes? Try to come up with at least 2 words. Restart your video once you've done this. So what does Bene mean? Well, Bene means good. What does Mal Male mean? It means bad. Please write down these definitions in your graphic organizer, and then what I'd like for you to also do is draw a picture to help you remember the meaning of good and bad. All right, so now that you have your definitions written down, let's start looking at some new words. The first word is beneficial. Being nice to others is beneficial to our school's community. Well, beneficial, like you probably already know, means helpful, advantage. So that is how beneficial uses the prefix of Bene, meaning it's good for our school community. I'd like for you to write down the word benefactor. This is your next word. Williams, who is a generous benefactor of the University of Missouri, graduated in 2000 from the College of Education. Well, knowing that Bene means good, what is a benefactor? Well, it's probably someone that is treating the university well or in a good way. Someone that's a benefactor is usually someone who gives money or helps others in a cause or an individual. Please add benefactor to your graphic organizer and write down the definition. Restart the video once you've done this. The next word is malice. Please write down this word in your graphic organizer. John's malice towards his boss led him to vandalize his car and house. Well, I know the prefix mal means bad. Here I can tell that John, for whatever reason, does not like his boss because he chose to vandalize or ruin the car and the house. So if somebody has a malice towards another person, this means that they have the desire to cause harm or pain to that person. Please write down this definition in your graphic organizer. Please restart the video once you've done that. All right, another word that uses our prefix mal is malfunction. Please add this word to your graphic organizer. Jet engines may malfunction and cut out, which will cause for an emergency landing of the plane. Well, I know that mal means bad, so malfunction must mean a bad function. So when something malfunctions, it simply means that it fails to function correctly. Please add this definition to your graphic organizer. Some of you may recognize the picture that is used to describe this sentence. This was a picture of a pilot who was able to successfully land a plane in the Hudson River outside of New York City. Everybody survived, but one of the engines did malfunction in this particular plane. And the pilot quickly became a hero for his brave actions that day. All right, that is where we are going to end our lesson for today. Remember that we will be taking this assessment later this week.